morning. Good morning. Man, that sun is right in our face this morning. It is Friday, April 5th. It is 8:30 in the morning, and you are watching me, Trooper Steve, on patrol. Sun's a little going, but hey, this is part of what we do here, live streaming, raw as it's happening. And you get to join me for the ride. We're back in the 32771 zip code, and that brings us back in Sanford, where we've been focused on over the past kind of few days as WKMG hits the road. Whoa, as WKMG hits the road. You guys know I'm not going to let the evening folks have all the fun in Sanford, so I'm up here hanging out. And yesterday we were with Bob Myers, checking out the historic Sanford area, talking with him and the previous history. So make sure you check that out over at clickorlando.com. This morning, though, I'm back in that exact same area to check out an intersection that I'm oddly familiar with. The reason I'm oddly familiar with it is because I don't live too far from this area. The whole morning team was joking, be like, Steve, you're going to do your stream from your house. You all know I ain't going to do that, because then you're going to know where I live. So we're out here on County Road 46A in Seminole County, also known as H.E. Thomas Parkway. And we're going to jump into that in just a moment as to why it has two names. But it's been named this for quite some time. So right now we're headed eastbound, and we're going to hop over to right into the Sanford city limits at the intersection of Sanford Avenue, US 17 out here, and observe what the viewer had indicated reference this intersection. And it's funny because the second that the viewer brought the question up, I knew exactly what we were talking about here. And we're going to show you. We're about to arrive here at the intersection in less than a minute, and we'll address it, we'll look at it. I want to find a place that we can sit and watch, but I also want to give a little history lesson on why this roadway is named H.E. Thomas Parkway, and it has a very significant meaning, and I think it's only right that we do at least address that while we're here. So we're at the intersection as we're crossing through here, French Avenue, and I'm going to show you exactly why we are out here. Look at all this traffic. All this traffic. Why is this like this? Because if you were traveling westbound on County Road 46A, you're used to two lanes the entire time. And then suddenly, it goes away. So we are going to try to cross the travel lanes here. Thank you very much. And I want to show you guys what we're talking about. You saw all that traffic there. We're going to get spun around. I love that Sanford is kind of a grid because it's super easy to get around. So we are in Sanford 32771 looking at French Avenue and County Road 46A. Two different 46s. You have 46 and 46A. 46 being several miles further north, and then 46A being several miles, obviously, south, right? So before we come out here to the road, I'll give you guys a quick we need to trim some trees out here, Sanford. My truck's getting hit. I'll give you a quick little lesson of what 46 is named after. So, believe it or not, sadly, in 1989, Deputy Sheriff Hugh Ellis Thompson Jr. was killed in the line of duty, and he was a Sanford Sheriff's deputy, part of the Seminole County Sheriff's, Seminole County Sheriff's deputy, and he was killed in the line of duty on Tuesday, March 28th, 1989. And it's something of significance because there was a huge memorial to name after this. So when you drive out here, it's good to know why the name is the way it is. So reading from the Sheriff's Office page, because I want to make sure that I give the proper respect to Deputy Thomas. Deputy Sheriff Thomas was shot and killed while responding to a prowler call in rural Seminole County near the intersection of Old Mims Road and Snow Hill Road back in 1989. When he arrived, he was actually killed by that suspect with a semi-auto rifle, and of course the deputy at the time only had a handgun. That suspect then shot and killed himself after that. It's pretty crazy because this Deputy Thomas was only on the job for about for about 5 years before he was shot and killed. And from what I am told, he absolutely was the epicenter of community policing here. Sheriff Lima is on record to saying that he paved the way for what community policing is today. So that's why 46 has another name. It was named in memory of Deputy Thomas. So I wanted to make sure we pay homage to that. So we're now facing this stop traffic along 46A, facing westbound as you approach French. And I want to show you what happens here. So cars are trying to do what I was trying to get out here in the turning lane. And this is what happens. The lane completely disappears. Because the through lane and the car behind me, oh, I missed it. Did exactly what you should not be doing. And that is coming out and passing people in the turn, which is a huge violation. Because it's not only dangerous, it's pretty scary if you're doing stuff like that. So this is the intersection there. That's what you're looking at right in front of us here. So that where that Tesla is the through lane westbound of 46A. Where those cars are coming on the right side, it's the right turning lane to head north on 1792, aka French Avenue. So what's the problem? The problem is all the vehicles get pushed into a single lane after they've been into two travel lanes westbound. But what the problem is y'all ain't paying attention, because there's signs. So the violations are intentional, period. They're intentional because there is so much signage that indicates, hey, there is going to be a traffic pattern change up ahead. And then in return, drivers choose not to wait in the main line like everybody else. So while we've got the time out here, because this stream is going to be rather quick today, I want to show you as much as possible. So side cam view, show you here. Look, you can see off to the side how this is a turning lane, right? And everything there. So that's where that traffic backs and people begin to use that to then cut off the other traffic, which is illegal. Illegal, illegal, illegal. And I can't even stress that any more than it is, because you're contributing to the traffic problems. Remember something stinks. It smells like a skunk out here. So I want to actually experience this turn with you, this travel change up with you guys. But remember a few weeks ago, or I say it quite often, the little things we're doing is what's causing the complaints that you tell me about. Does that make sense? So when you guys send me a message and I end up going out to the intersection, 9 times out of 10, what I'm seeing is simple issues. And they're caused by you guys, the viewer, the driver. And I would almost say that if you started complaining in your neighborhood, you'd probably realize it's your neighbors that are doing it. So I'm turning around here in the grid so that we can experience this as it's happening and what exactly it's looking like. I don't know, my mind is moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Here's something to know about. See this Kia in front of me right now? What's wrong with this Kia? It is improperly parked. It is facing the wrong way. Whenever you are parked on a roadway that allows parking, you must face with the flow of traffic. This vehicle, improperly parked and could be cited by the city of Sanford for improper parking. You are not to face the wrong way. Just keep that in mind. So we're going to come back out here to 46A, H.E. Thomas Parkway, aka 25th Street, and then go west here as we approach French. So we're going to look at that traffic that's flowing here westbound. Good amount of traffic here in the morning. This is a busy part of Seminole County. A lot of vehicles constantly flowing, and once this crowd goes through, we'll catch one of these clowns doing something. Remember, we use the term clown with the Trooper Steve brand to describe individuals that have maybe driving challenges while they're behind the wheel. Obviously, my sarcasm meter is through the roof when I'm using these terms. Okay? So we're going to wait for traffic to clear out here on the left-hand side, and then we'll pull out into the roadway so we can hop in the proper left lane And then you can see these clowns that use the right travel lane to intentionally bypass. Now, there's a Sanford unit right there. I highly doubt someone's going to be funny and do something weird, but let's see. So look what happens here. So this left, you're normally in a 2-lane westbound, right? And then suddenly, there's a sign here to my right. You can barely see it because of where I'm at. But that sign right there means right turn, or says right lane must turn right. There are several of those leading up before it happens. And then, as we're traveling here, you'll see the roadway begins to change. The dash lines turn to solid. The right lane only has only in it. And this is where the traffic begins to become a problem, because people will use that right turning lane in order to bypass traffic. So we're going to end up coming here to a stop. Sanford PD over to here to the left doing what they do. We appreciate you, Sanford Police Department, and all things that you guys are responsible for. So I'm going to switch here to the back camera so you could see. Let's see if we get anybody that's going to do it. So you've got the vehicle there using the right turn for what it's properly needed for to make that right turn. Thank you, Mr. Audi driver. But occasionally drivers will line up in the right turning lane. Hold on, I know this guy. I'm currently streaming live right now, and I was giving you props and all that stuff. That's my buddy Officer French over there. There's a side camera. I can see your car. Yeah, I can see your car. What's up, man? How are you? Living the dream, right? You just 10-8 today, normal? You 10-8 normal? Oh. Fun. Always something, man. Yeah. Be safe, bro. So that is Officer French, a good friend of mine. Actually encouraged him to become a motor officer with the city of Sanford. Went to his graduation when Seminole County Sheriff's Office was putting on the school. And just a really, really good dude. Proactive, but equally proactive and community oriented. So it's pretty cool. That was awesome. So like I was talking earlier, we're going to go straight here. And see, suddenly it breaks out back into 2 lanes. So you've got to be really observant of what's happening within this area, because if not, you're going to end up making a mistake that will lead to a crash. And this guy's in a rush. No seatbelt, well over the posted speed limit, no turning signal. That is what we call, ladies and gentlemen, a clown. And I would call that a clown car, because the driver in there is having issues making sure that they drive safely all over the road. Mike, look at him. All over the roadway, in and out. This constitutes reckless driving at this point. Look at that. Back in front of that truck, windows down, not a care in the world, not thinking about the consequences that would occur when they struck somebody. And I can guarantee a driver like that, oh, now they're the one in front of us. So good thing is we're on our way out of San. But look at the driving of this vehicle. Reckless. Absolutely reckless. Probably doing 65 to 70 miles an hour in a 45 zone right now as they make their way completely through a residential area. This is the stuff that leads to the complaints that I receive in my email. This is the kind of drivers that I have zero remorse for when I'm handing them 6 citations in excess of $1,000. Well, Steve, that's hard on some. Do you want someone like that driving around in your neighborhood? I don't. And wherever you live, we all deserve to be safe on the roadway in our community. We really do. And financial consequences get people's attention like that. So all that, just so what? They can end up right here. There's the white SUV right there. Good. 19DPER. See, that's how fast I read a tag. Sorry, the cop came at me. And this is what gets me. Where were they rushing to? Where were they rushing to? Nowhere. They weren't going anywhere. They were going home to their house. Okay, let me come down a little bit. I'm back with you guys. All right. That's just what drives me. We need to talk with the state of Florida so that I could do this in an unmarked vehicle, stream with you guys, and then pull them over. That would make for good TV. And I'd have a good time doing it. But what were we talking about out there? It's the little things that you got to pay attention to, and it's drivers like that who are causing the problems. Because I can promise you that driver probably went in to the far turn lane, bypassed a vehicle, got behind me, then saw the Sanford Police Department, Officer French, my brother, and then like, oh, let me chill out. Really? That's what it takes in order for you to pay attention, which is insane? Come on. So, man, they ran the red light too. What is going on today? It's Friday, guys. Slow it down. Take it easy, please. No reason for this. I don't even see this kind of aggressiveness in downtown Orlando, but yet we're getting hit between Seminole, Lake Mary, and unincorporated Seminole County, Sanford. If I look shook, I'm a little shaken up. So we were out at 46A, H.E. Thomas, at French Avenue, and the reason we were there is because the westbound lanes, as you're traveling, that right lane just suddenly disappears to some of you guys. They say a magician never tells you the secret to their trick, right? I'm going to tell you the secret to that transportation, that change in traffic pattern. There's 3 signs leading up to it telling you it's about to happen. This guy just made a U-turn on a red light right there. What is Seminole? Get it together, please. So the signs are there. The signs lead up to it. Yes, does traffic back up? Traffic does back there. But it's going to be even worse when other drivers are choosing to go into the right turn lane, pull in and stop the other traffic. You're messing it up for 5 other cars. And that's another thing I'll talk as we're headed out of the area. Most people don't realize that when you're committing the minor traffic violation, you're creating the bigger problem behind you that you never saw out on the roadway. Does that make sense? Because they don't care. And I'm not saying it's everybody. It's less than 1% of the drivers who are really the problem. But it's those less than 1% that deserve criminal traffic citations, deserve a court date, deserve a reckless driving citation. I'm not this whole, educate and then go enforce. Nah. There is so much education out there and common sense that as adults, if you're driving a vehicle and you don't know what you're doing, then maybe you do need the traffic citation. I don't know. That's how I learned as a kid. I got my first ticket at 17 years old by the Osceola County Sheriff's Office. And I was doing 6 miles an hour over the speed limit. But I was in a school zone. And I should have known better. And at 17, I got my first big ticket. And now I know that deputy to this day. I am friends with that deputy. He's now retired. But every time I see him, I always let him know. Because of him, I see school zones before they even build the school. So it is something to keep in mind. So guys, it is a beautiful day outside. Very busy day for us with the morning team. We're filming a new promo for you guys to keep you guys in the loop. Of course, it is also a gorgeous day outside, but I don't want you to forget that you are still required to drive safely, that you still are required to mind your manners out on the roadway. And when it's beautiful outside, those are the most important moments to do that. I am so close to my house right now that I can go home and have breakfast, but obviously that's not going to happen. So you guys, I'm going to wrap this up because lots to do. We saw the intersection, and then of course that aggressive driver really threw us for a little bit of a spin there. But you got to see it, and we got to see it as it's happening. So please keep up with us. WKMG hits the road 32771. Plus, if you're a little close to it, guess what? You count too. We'll be live at Hollerbox next Wednesday, this upcoming Wednesday, for the evening. But you guys already know I'm not going to let them have all the fun. I will be out there as well, especially because it's so close to home. Monday, Tuesday, there will not be a Trooper Steve live one, but of course we'll show you some of our previous stuff at 8:30 on Monday and Tuesday. Taking a little R&R and gonna disappear for a few days. Nothing crazy, just take a little chill time. But I will be back with you guys Wednesday morning. Then of course Wednesday in Sanford as we bring News 6 live to your community in Sanford, and I can't wait for that, guys. So always wear your seatbelt. Always pay attention to the signage, because I'm going to tell you right now, if things are changing up ahead, there's a sign letting you know. And the little things you're doing behind the wheel are affecting other people. And when you drive like that white Explorer that we saw, you deserve to be put in a Hot Wheel car and your license taken away. Don't make me governor, y'all. We'll be taking our license test every year. So until that day comes, you guys have an amazing Friday, an amazing weekend. Please, please, please be safe. It's going to be too nice of a weekend. I do not want any fatal crash information coming into my email. Let's get through it together, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday. You guys have a blessed weekend. I'll catch you guys later.